Yo, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 7 of the NPA, the New York Metapods are taking on the Baltimore Blazikens, guys, and we are gonna have an epic match up ahead here. He's actually 5-1, Chris is, and he's a tremendous battler, looked at as being one of the better battlers in the league. So we're definitely gonna have our stuff tested. We're gonna have our skill tested here this week. But we're bringing kind of an interesting team. I mixed it up a little bit, trying to have a little bit more fun this week, trying to get a little creative, and maybe it'll pay off, maybe it won't, I don't know. But definitely show your love on that like button down below. 1,500 likes would be absolutely amazing for the Metapods. Of course, don't forget to check out my opponent. We do have a question of the day today is, do you think Deontay and the new Pokemon, announced Magearna for Sun and Moon are going to be related in some way? Obviously, there's some aesthetic similarities, but how do you think they're going to be related? If you do, let me know in the comment section below. And I bring that up because we are actually playing Mega Deontay in this matchup here, and I'm pretty sure that Chris is going to bring Mega Deontay. So definitely check out the team builder if you haven't yet, so you know my sets, what the game plan is, all that stuff. I'm not going to run through it again, but we do have a pretty interesting matchup here. You can see my team and what I'm predicting his team to be, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm going to jump into the battle here. I'm going to get connected, and we're going to see what happens, and should be a good time, guys. So I'll see you guys momentarily. All right, guys, so we are connected. We're going to jump into the match here and see exactly what team he is going to be bringing. Should be pretty interesting here. I think that there's a few key threats in his team that could potentially cause us some issues. Mainly that Exploud, that Jirachi, depending on the set he brings. He's got a lot of opportunities to really kind of break down my team here. I don't really have the best matchup on paper by any means, but I do have a couple Pokemon that I think could be really effective this week, which is that Cresselia, of course. And if I can play the rest of the Pokemon around properly, I should be able to set up to get that late game Scolipede sweep, which is, of course, our objective this week. Rocking that dual screens Gardevoir. We've got a lot of really cool ideas going on. So again, it is a little bit of a high risk, high reward type of scenario, but when you're kind of against the wall when it comes to the team building matchup, it's a little bit different. Rarely do I not bring Mega Sableye, and the GBA I didn't bring it 1 week, but we'll see what his team is going to be. Actually brings the Drapion and the Gyarados. No Celebi though. Does not bring the Exploud, so a huge sigh of relief there for me, to be perfectly honest, as I was really fearing that that Exploud. I'm kind of surprised he didn't bring it, but maybe he just thought it would have a better matchup. He brings the Drapion, which could be a Toxic Spike setter, but luckily I'm less concerned about that due to having Amoonguss, so I can kind of absorb the T-Spikes there. But let me update the team here. So he brings the Drapion, and he does bring the Gyarados. So I actually feel a little bit better after seeing that. It doesn't really mean much, but I definitely feel a bit better. So I think I'm gonna lead here with Amoonguss. Let me look through his team one more time really quick. I think I am gonna lead with Amoonguss here though. It matches up pretty well against a lot of his team, aside from maybe the Jirachi. I'll switch out on Jirachi, but if he leads with Drapion, I can take the knockoff, no problem. He leads with the Gyarados, I can clear Smog or put it to sleep. I can really put anything to sleep, and I know I can take some hits from the Deontay there. So let's actually lead with that. I can always Giga Drain, and him not having his Celebi actually helps out there. So let's lead with Fun Guy here, which is going to be our Amoonguss, and I think it'll match up really well. I do have the HP Ice there, of course, for the Garchomp, and I could do about 50% to the Deontay and take a hit. Obviously, the Giga Drain is going to hit the Slowking. I should be a little faster than him too. He's got a couple psychic moves, but if he does lead with the Jirachi, I'll switch out into my Druddigon, and that actually could give us an opportunity to get our Stealth Rocks up on the first turn, depending on what kind of set he is. If he runs like U-turn on it, and he just wants to U-turn out on me first turn, that'd be a little risky too, because that would give me a free Spore. So we'll see what he's gonna do here on this matchup. But again, I'm just trying to have fun this match. I don't want to take things too seriously. I found like if I'm stressing too much, it just takes away some of the fun. So just trying to have a good match, man. We've done really well so far this season, and I'm hoping to stay undefeated, but he is a very good battler, and he's got a very good record and an amazing team. So he's going to lead with MC Hammer, which is that Garchomp. So I actually had the opportunity here to simply go for the Spore and put this thing to sleep. I don't believe this thing can OHKO me. I will just do a quick check here, but I don't really believe he can. I mean, if he was running like a mixed attacking Garchomp, and he went for like a Fire Blast, I know I could live it, so I do want to just go for the Spore here. He might get his rocks up, but I can go for the Spore and put something to sleep, and if that happens to be the Garchomp on the first turn, that could be incredibly beneficial. I could just go for the quick HP Ice here and try to do about 50% to him, maybe even more, but I think putting something to sleep will be very useful. As my ice rattles in my glasses always. So we'll just start with a quick Spore here. If he wants to get his rocks up, that's fine. I'm kind of just letting him get his rocks up for this matchup. I felt like there was really not too much I could do there, and I can maybe scout and see what kind of Garchomp this thing is. I'm not going to overpredict anything here first turn. I'd rather just take it safe, play it smart, maybe cripple something for a couple turns. Doesn't really have any way to get rid of that, that Spore. So that could be really good, especially if I can put this thing to sleep. Since he led with it, it could be that like the bulky set. which I'll find out after I go for Spore here. I'll Spore and then I'll probably HP Ice and try to do some damage, kind of see what set he's running. He's taking a lot of time to think about this move, so I'm not sure if he just didn't anticipate me to lead with Amoonguss, or he thought, you know, maybe he thought I was going to leave Druddigon or something and try to get my own rocks up. He's actually going to switch, so I'm going to get a free Spore off on something here, which is going to be Make-A-Wish, which is probably the Jirachi. It is indeed the Jirachi, so I will be able to just put this thing to sleep immediately here, which is really, really beneficial. And this actually could give me an opportunity to switch into my Druddigon here and just set up my Stealth Rock. So he might predict that and just switch out hardcore here, just go straight into his Garchomp. If he does do that, that could be a little bit problematic for me. If I go into Pumpkin here, I could simply go for the HP Ice. He might stay in. I don't think he's gonna stay in though. Do I think he's gonna double back into his Garchomp though? He didn't want to put that thing to sleep. He might double back into it. Although he didn't seem to think that Garchomp had a good matchup against Amoonguss. What would he switch into here? I don't want him to predict my Druddigon and then him kind of just go straight back. I can't really touch him, so I am going to switch. I'm going to go to Pumpkin here. If he predicts that, goes into Garchomp, that's fine. He is going to switch out here. I could have went for HP Ice against the Garchomp. Is that what he goes back into? He does. So I had a chance to make a really cool prediction there, and I just don't make that prediction. Bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, I have kind of a tough spot here because if he attacks me here, he has the potential to do a tremendous amount to me. I would imagine he would beat me if he would OHKO me here if he attacked. I want to kind of see. If he's like the Tank Chomp, I know I could take a hit. If he's like super offensive, like offensive rocks, I can actually live a Dragon Claw. So you know what? I'm actually gonna stay in here. I'm gonna go for the Glare. Paralyzing this thing would be huge. So. And I believe Glare does work against ground types. I'm going to double check. Glare against ground types. I'm like 99% sure on this. I just want to double check. So Glare does hit ground types. It just, you can't paralyze electric types. So I'm just going to double check, but you know, just to be safe. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. So I am going to do that because if I can get this Glare off here and paralyze this thing, long term, that would be incredibly advantageous. And I did already put his Jirachi to sleep. So I could have predicted that HP Ice. You know, I really wanted to make that bold prediction, but I could also get this off here, and I'm fully physically defensive, so unless he's running Outrage here, which would give me a free switch into my Gardevoir, and ultimately trade the Pokemon, like I should be good to take a, you know, Dragon Claw, so. And crippling this Garchomp would be huge. Again, as I said, he doesn't have really any way to kind of handle that, so this Glare could be really good, especially even if he switches, it doesn't even matter. This Glare could be incredibly good for me. He's gonna go for that Dragon Claw here, so I should be able to live this though. And I do. You can see how well we take that. We've got that Rough Skin Rocky Helmet there, and I do want to take a look at that damage. Just kind of see as we do get a nice little chunk off here, and we are going to get the Glare off here. So based on that damage, it does seem like he's a pretty relatively standard offensive Chomp here. Doesn't, he is going to be paralyzed. He's about 70%. I don't know if I necessarily want to trade Pumpkin here for Garchomp, but I could get my rocks up. For free. Well, not for free, but I could get my rocks up essentially. Now that I'm kind of weakened, if he decides to stay in, that's fine. I think he might go for Rocks of his own. I'm gonna go for Stealth Rocks here. I want to get those rocks up, take 25% off the Gyarados, which is the biggest thing stopping Scolipede from sweeping. Is that Gyarados? So Scolipede actually has a really good opportunity, I think, to sweep here if I can make this work right. So we got the Para on the Garchomp. I am gonna get my rocks up. Huge, huge, huge. If he decides to go for Earthquake here, that's fine. If he wants to go for Rocks of his own, that's totally fine. He's gonna go for Dragon Claw again. So his objective here was primarily to take down Pumpkin, and he's gonna do that, but it's not a big deal. So Garchomp kills Druddigon with Dragon Claw. Bit unfortunate for me there to lose my my Pumpkin, but I got my rocks up. And I paralyzed the Garchomp and brought him down to about 30%, 40%. So that's a pretty decent start. Now it's a matter of what I want to revenge kill this thing with. I think Gardevoir is a great opportunity here. I could simply just go for a Moonblast. Crimson's another opportunity to revenge kill. Cresselia actually could come in and set up a substitute here for free. He doesn't really have much that he could send in, and Jirachi's asleep. That's not a terrible idea. Cresselia. I don't really have anything to beat the Druddigon yet, so might be a little early for that. I do like the idea of going into Gardevoir, though, and going for Moonblast. If he wants to switch into something, that's fine, but I do get a free kill here. If he wants to switch out and go into, you know, Jirachi or whatever to take the Moonblast, that's fine, but I really am not too concerned there. Nothing really wants to take it, so I think I'm going to go just for that Moonblast and try to pick up that kill here. If he wants to sack off his Garchomp, that's fine. He may just sack it off at this point in time, because he doesn't really have, you know, it's paralyzed at this point, so that really cripples him a good amount there. And I do have my rocks up, which will help with that residual damage. I need to kind of wear him down to get that Scolipede in later. see what he's gonna do here. He could definitely switch. And that switch into Jirachi would be the one that makes the most sense now that I lost my my pumpkin. I'm gonna have to really wear that Jirachi down as best as I can. That's probably one of the bigger threats. I don't want to set up screens just yet. If he goes into Deontay or something like that, I know I can set up screens. I'll outspeed it on the first turn. So we have some options there. I should outspeed most things on the first turn. Again, that Drapion is a bit problematic. He could bring the Drapion. My switch in that is a Moongus. Not the best switch in, obviously. That Drapion is actually relatively problematic. I do have the ability to Moonblast though, and those rocks will wear it down. So got some options there. I think maybe that Reflect is going to make a lot of sense here pretty soon though, especially if that Jirachi is physical. So maybe I should set up a Reflect here after this turn. We'll see what he's going to do, obviously. But crippling that Garchomp right away, keeping the rocks off the field so far. Those have been very good. I mean, his Rachi could be his Rock Setter too, but it's asleep, so that's good. I just don't have too many reliable responses for that Jirachi, so I do have to be a little bit careful. But if I can get that Swords Dance up on the Scolipede here, we might be in pretty good shape, because if I can beat the Gyarados and I have a Reflect up, actually, yeah, if I can get the Reflect up, we're in good shape. So he's just gonna trade this. He's gonna trade this, no problem. So Gardevoir kills Garchomp with Moonblast. So I'll take that trade all day. Like all day, I'll take that trade. Getting rid of the Garchomp, getting my rocks up with Druddigon. It gives me one less answer to Jirachi, because obviously I can't use that Rough Skin Rocky Helmet anymore. But Druddigon for Garchomp to me is worth it. Garchomp is one of those Pokemon that was holding my Scolipede back, and it could have been a potential Dragon Tailer to potentially phase out Cresselia as well. Now I need to focus on weakening that Drapion a little bit. He might bring it in now, which is a bit unfortunate if he does, because he could knock off, so I do have to kind of keep that in mind. Does a Drapion kill me just like a standard offensive Drapion? I mean, with Poison Jab, he does kill me at this range. Knockoff doesn't, though. So he's gonna bring in Headache, and Headache is his Slow King. So, or slow, whatever this thing is called. Slow King. So this thing could try to, you know, go for the offense here. I think what I can actually do, it's a little too early. That Drapion is still, actually, can I just go for it? Can I just go for it? It's the Gyarados is the biggest issue here for stopping Scolipede, I think. Is that Gyarados? It is that Gyarados that is the issue. Okay, I'm actually gonna go for the light screen. I'm gonna go for the light screen on this turn. And I think this is a good opportunity, because realistically, like, if I were to switch out here, I mean, I can go into a Moongus, but I don't want to take a Psychic move. He might predict that. I feel confident in the fact that I could take like a Shadow Ball and stuff. So let's go for that light screen and kind of start there. That'll allow us to take really any hit from this thing. We know he's going to be mostly specially offensive. He's going to go for the Scald here, so I do risk the potential Scald burn, of course, but I'm very not too concerned about that with Arwen. Okay, so that's really good. Now I'm going to actually set up, do I set up the Reflect too? I'm going to set up that Reflect as well. That might force him into his Drapion, but that's okay. He's gonna stay in here. Okay. I'm not mementoing though. I'm not gonna memento out of here. I'm gonna keep it rolling. He's gonna Scald again. Okay, no burn, so that's really good. All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna put some pressure on him here. I'm gonna go straight into Flash Drive to take the Scald. I know I can take it, and I can start firing off some Thunderbolts. He really doesn't have many good switch-ins here, and because you know, I do have those screens. We are on, so we are one turn for light screen, and one turn for Reflect. So let me make some notes here. Okay, two turns for light screen. So this is gonna be 2 turns for Reflect here and 3 turns for light screen. You can tell I'm gonna take that no problem, and we do eat it, so we're good now. Okay, so now I have an opportunity to just click Thunderbolt and really put a lot of pressure on his team. This doesn't really have a good answer to this thing. I do just wanna look at Slow King here. He could be he could totally be like an Assault Vested variant. But Thunderbolt is going to do a tremendous amount to him regardless of what his set is, so really there's not a whole lot on his team that wants to switch into a Thunderbolt, so I am going to just click Thunderbolt here. He's got a sleeping Jirachi. Shout out to my homie Sleepy Jirachi. And this Thunderbolt should be able to do a tremendous amount, even if the Slow King does live the hit, or he doesn't know what set I am. I could be a Life Orb set, I could be Specs, I could be a setup set. We've got those screens up, so we are free to just click Thunderbolt here, and we are Scarf, so we're gonna outpace everything on his team. He is gonna stay in here. I think he will live it, but whether he's gonna be able to do much back to us is really the question. We get a big hit off there. He is gonna just fire off another Scald. Totally fine with me. I'm just hoping for no burns. We've gotten really lucky so far with no burns, which is lovely. And that's another turn for Light Screen, which just puts us 4 and 3 turns for Reflect, I believe. I'm going to click Thunderbolt one more time here. If he wants to save this thing, that's fine. But otherwise, Flash Drive putting in a lot of pressure here early in the game. Really starting to break some walls down. If I can... even if he wants to go into Deontay at this point, I feel that I might be able to live a Diamond Storm and just fire off a big Thunderbolt. He's going to just stay in here, so Flash Drive is going to pick up the kill. And... I'll mark that down. So Thundurus kills Slowking with T-Bolt, and that's really awesome. So 2 Pokemon are down right now, and let's see what his decision here. He quickly goes into Deontay, very quickly goes into Deontay. So that's fine. I do want to take a look here at this Deontay and take a look and see, you know, kind of what's going on. His Diamond Storm will knock us out. After the Reflect. Thunderbolt is going to do a tremendous amount to him, though. To the point where I feel really confident in just going for that Thunderbolt. I know I could switch out here to take a Diamond Storm. He might just go for the Protect this turn, which is probably what he's going to be rocking. But I really do like the opportunity of just clicking Thunderbolt here. If he knocks me out, he knocks me out. I have a Moongus still, so Moongus can come in. Got a couple different options here. So, and we still have Light Screen and Reflect for a few more turns. So if he doesn't have Diamond Storm for some reason, we're in good shape. And realistic, Scolipede can come in and Revenge Kill. So we've got some options there too. You know, Gyarados, we can trace his Intimidate and potentially set up on him. Maybe it does make sense for me to save my Thundurus, actually. We'll see what he's gonna do here. If he protects, then that's fine, but maybe I should have saved it. I went for the Gusto here. I just went for the offensive, like, you know, attacks, but maybe I should have saved it. He is going to Mega Evolve, so he's going to stay in here. We'll see if he is going to go for the Protect or not to kind of save him that turn. If not, either way, we're going to get a big hit off here. We'll see. He is going to stay in. We're going to get this big Thunderbolt off. It's not going to kill, but it should do a tremendous amount. It does do a good amount. He's going to go for the Moonblast. I'm actually going to live that, I think. It's not super effective. He might have predicted a switch there, and he does not get that prediction. So we're able to stay in here and get that kill. He might not expect us to be Scarfed at this point. I get to fire off another Thunderbolt, and something is going to take that, and something is going to die here. He cannot bring in Gyarados. He cannot bring in his Drapion. It'll die to 2. Jirachi is still asleep. This Thundurus here is putting in a tremendous amount of work, and those dual screens have been very effective. We still do have a couple more turns on those screens too, especially that Reflect. So he does go for that Moonblast, really trying to catch us off guard there, predicting a switch, but what did he expect me to switch into? Realistically, Diamond Storm was 100% the play there in my opinion, but maybe he's not carrying it for some reason. So, and he definitely doesn't have Protect, unless maybe he didn't think I was Scarfed, but either way, actually, I would have outspent on that first turn. He must have expected me to switch out there. But since I am Scarfed, I just get to keep clicking Thunderbolt until stuff dies here. The biggest issue that I'm seeing on this team right now that's kind of plaguing me is that Jirachi, though. It is a problem. I do have the Scolipede, though. And when Jirachi comes back in, I can set up screens again in the Memento. Go into Scolipede, set up a Swords Dance. I have the Lumberry for safety, and then I have to hit a Mega Horn, and we are in good shape because that will definitely knock out the Jirachi. But either way, I'm really feeling in control here. Getting rid of this Deontay right now would be amazing with this Thunderbolt. But again, nothing on his team can switch into it, and I don't believe... let me just look up Drapion here. Is Drapion going to have Sucker Punch? I know it gets knockoff. I don't think it gets Sucker Punch, though. He's going to let this thing die. Yeah, he doesn't actually even get Sucker Punch. This thing just goes down. So Thundurus does, you know, does its job here with T-Bolt. So that thing goes down too. Deontay goes down as well. And Thundurus is just running through his team here. Here comes Come Over here, which is, I'm assuming, the Drapion. So here comes the Drapion. Do I want to save this thing to take on the Drapion for later? I do still have, I think, Reflect up. So at least I have that going for me. How much is this going to do to him? A T-Bolt is like going to do 73 to 86%. So do I want to save this thing to help me against the Gyarados later in case that thing sets up? Because I am Scarf, so that could be beneficial. What do I switch, though, if I switch here? I don't want to give him any momentum. I think it does make sense for me to save this thing. I really do. What do I switch into, though? Like, what's my best switch for this thing? Cresselia is a decent switch. I mean, Amoonguss is really the best switch, but Amoonguss isn't going to do much back to him. I really don't want him to kind of gain any momentum here. I also don't want to switch just yet. I don't want to go into Gardevoir. But I think saving Flash Drive is very important here, actually, now that I think about it. Because while I can do a tremendous amount to him with a Thunderbolt and bring him down to, you know, I could do enough to really bring him down. If he's offensive, he'll be pretty beat up. But I can't really go into Fungi. I don't want to go into Crimson yet. I mean, Cresselia could totally come in here, but doesn't want to take a big hit. I think it makes the most sense here for me to simply go for that Thunderbolt and just get as much damage off on this Drapion as I can. As much as I'm worried about that Gyarados, I do have some opportunities, I think, to beat it with Cresselia. I think Cresselia can beat it out because I'm just so bulky, and I do have Clear Smog. So I'm going to go for the T-Ball here and just do as much damage as I can. I think that's our best play. I would really like to save this thing, but to me, it's really worth the damage. He's going to go for the knockoff, so that's fine. So we see the knockoff on the Drapion. He will knock us out, and I believe that's the end of one of our turns here. He is Black Sludge as well. And the Light Screen wears off, so that's it for Light Screen. And Reflect is at 7 turns, so we have one more turn here. So Drapion kills Thundurus with knockoff. Now, I know I can go into Arwen here. The Reflect is still up. Arwen can live a hit and should be able to make things work. The other option is going into Crimson here, which is going to outspeed. Simply go for, you know, a Mega Horn or an Aqua Tail and knock this thing out as well. It's just that Gyarados is actually kind of problematic. Let me just see here. I think I could beat the Gyarados though. I'm just trying to figure out when the best time to set up is gonna be. So Gyarados, let's say he's like the offensive Gyarados with Intimidate. If I'm +2 and he intimidates me, my Poison Jab almost knocks him out. And with a Reflect up, I could definitely take the hits. Do I go into Scolipede here? Do I just go into Arwen, who can definitely take the hit? Let me just see his Drapion really quickly against Gardevoir. Against Drapion, if I have Reflect up, he does knock me out, I think. If he's max attack, maybe he doesn't knock me out, but I'm gonna go with Scolipede here. I'm gonna go the safe route. Go into Scolipede. I know I can actually just set up that Swords Dance now, if I want to, which might be the best play. Might be the best play, just to set it up now, while I do still have my Reflect up. Because realistically, what is this thing gonna do to me? And he doesn't have any priority. So if I go +2 here, Poison Jab will knock him out, assuming he's offensive. Aqua Tail will knock him out without the +2 right now. It's just, do I feel like it's worth setting up yet? I need that boost to take on the Gyarados, because I'm gonna lose. Let me think about this real quick. Scolipede is important because I need it to beat the Jirachi. Even though Jirachi is asleep, it is one of the Pokemon that beats Jirachi on my team. So I really can't risk anything here. I think I'm gonna go for the Aqua Tail. I think I'm gonna go for the, actually if he's bulky, I might not kill him with Aqua Tail. I'm gonna go for the Mega Horn, 85% accurate. He's gonna switch. He's probably gonna go into that Gyarados here, try to get that Intimidate off. Here comes Leviathan, so that is the Gyarados. Big, gonna get some big damage off here because of that, is he Intimidated or is he Moxie? We're gonna find out now. He's Intimidated. That's actually better than not that he's Intimidated. I'm gonna get this Mega Horn off here. It's gonna do a decent amount. I'm gonna save Scolipede here. I could have set up, but we're gonna wear this thing down. Is he lefties though? Our Reflect wears off. We're gonna get that speed boost, kind of irrelevant. If I had Rock Slide, that'd be nice, but he doesn't show that he has leftovers. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna make the switch into Arwen. I'm gonna steal his Intimidate, and then I'm going to be able to drop his attack by 1 stage here. This might give him an opportunity if he wants to go for a Dragon Dance, but I have a feeling he's going to attack. But we'll find out what he's going to do here. We're going to trace that Intimidate. We are going to activate that Intimidate and drop his attack stat a little bit here, which is nice. That puts him at -1, so he should be able to live a hit here. He's going to go for the Waterfall. If he is not max speed here, I should be able to set up on him. And I could definitely take that hit after the Intimidate. The problem is he going to be max speed or not? I think getting up that Reflect here is the most important move. He is max speed. He's going to go for the Waterfall, and that will knock us out, unfortunately. So a bit of an unfortunate situation there. But what I can do now is actually go into, let me make a note of that. So Gyarados kills Gardevoir. Okay, I'm going to go into my Cresselia now, I think. I'm going to go into my Cresselia now. As I know he still has that Drapion, but if I get a Substitute up, that would be really good. If he Toxics me, it is what it is. I'm going to go for that Substitute right off the bat here. I don't believe he'll be able to break my Substitute. The only thing that messes me up here is if he does have like Toxic or something. He's gonna go for Taunt, so he shows the Taunt on his Gyarados. Good plays on his part. Taunt Gyarados. But I just gotta weaken this thing a little bit more here. Psyshock or Ice Beam. Probably Ice Beam is my play. I gotta keep that Keep that Drapion from putting in the work. Let me actually switch out into Amoonguss now that I see Taunt on Gyarados. This Gyarados is -1, so that's why I'm gonna make the switch here. The problem is I don't know how much Amoonguss is really gonna do to Drapion. But it is nice that he doesn't have... He is gonna switch here, most likely into Drapion. He's gonna go to Make-A-Wish, so he actually goes into the Jirachi. So I need to make a very aggressive switch into Scolipede now. I have to. I have to go into Scolipede now. Because I need to be able to go for that Swords Dance, and I just need to fire off a big hit to him. But it is a little risky now. I'm actually entering a risky... He's lefties too. So at least I know he's like a bulky Jirachi. Alright, I'm making the switch back into Cresselia. I'm gonna go back into Cresselia now. He's gonna stay in and he's gonna stay sleeping. So this could give me an opportunity to get up that substitute that I want. If I get that substitute off, I don't think he can break the sub. He's gonna be sleeping, so I need one more turn of sleep here so I can get this substitute off. That's what I need right now. I'm going for the substitute. He's only been sleeping for 1 turn. I saw that he's got leftovers. And he's sleeping. Okay. I need to get this substitute off. I have to. Have to. He's gonna switch, so I do get my sub off. He's gonna go into his Drapion. No, he's gonna go into his Gyarados. So he doesn't want me setting up on him. That's his biggest fear right now, is me being able to set up on him. But that those Stealth Rocks are gonna really affect him and really start to wear him down. If he wants to go and go for the taunt here, that's fine. I think Calm Mind is actually my play, though. I do think Calm Mind is my play. I don't think he's gonna break my sub. I think he would need to really hit me kind of hard to break this sub. Cresselia versus Gyarados. Assuming he's like an offensive. Yeah, Crunch can break it. I'm gonna go for the Side Shock actually though, because that will knock him out. I'd rather just knock him out if I can at this point. If he goes to Drapion, he goes to Drapion. It doesn't really affect me. I just Ice Beam it a few times. So he might just taunt here, trying to keep me from setting up any further. But after Stealth Rocks, actually, I think Ice Beam might be able to knock out the Drapion, so I am going to go with the Side Shock here and try to knock him out. If he has the Crunch at his Gyarados, that'd be pretty surprising, considering that he does already have Waterfall and Taunt we've seen. So Crunch should be a little bit interesting. He's probably going to want to have Bounce as one of his opportunities. Maybe Bounce to hit some of my Grass types, maybe a Moonguss or something. Get that dual stab. Ice Fang, maybe. I guess Crunch is very viable, but then he wouldn't have room for Dragon Dance, so we'll see how this Cresselia does here. I feel like we had a lot of momentum early, and I kind of have lost some of that momentum, but I'm not in a bad spot. It's really going to come down to, you know, what his Drapion set is, first of all, you know, how long that Jirachi takes to wake up, you know, things like that. Because realistically, you know, Cresselia can't really beat the Jirachi unless I'm behind a substitute. I need to be behind the substitute to beat the Jirachi. So he's going to taunt us here. I'm hoping that this Side Shock will do enough. It's going to be close. It depends on if he's bulky or not. It does not knock him out, so he actually does live that, unfortunately, but by very little. So he does die on entry now, so he's most likely to stay in here. I'm going to just go for the Ice Beam. I'm taunted, unfortunately. He's going to go for the Waterfall. I don't believe this is going to break our substitute, though, which is really nice. It should not break the substitute. And it most certainly doesn't, so we are going to pick up that kill with Cresselia. So Cresselia kills Gyarados with Ice Beam, and that's one threat out of the way. Okay, he's down to a sleeping Jirachi and a Drapion that is incredibly weakened here, which I believe we do beat with an Ice Beam now. So it's going to come down to this Jirachi coming in and me just being smart and being able to set up on it. So here comes the Jirachi. Again, I am taunted, so I don't really think I can do anything. I'm going to try to see if the taunt wear it off or whatever. I'm going to go for a Calm Mind. I can't use that because I'm taunted, so I'm actually going to go for the... I'm going to go for the substitute, I think. I'm going to go for the substitute. Because if he wakes up and breaks my sub, I want to be able to get this. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. Then I'm going to go for the Ice Beam here. He's going to stay asleep, so that's good. He's probably going to wake up on the following turn. Gotta be very careful here. I do still have the opportunity of Scolipede coming in and putting in some work, but I really need this taunt to wear off so I can set up a second sub and start Calm Minding, because I'm not going to beat the Jirachi otherwise. And if he paralyzes me and stuff, it could be really tough for me to kind of pull through. A third turn of sleep would be really nice. There's my taunt. Okay, it's gone. Good. Okay, so my play here is to go for substitute again. He will outspeed us just by default. He's going to wake up. He's going to go for the substitute of his own. So here we are. We're in a substitute battle, Jirachi versus Cresselia. Now, I don't know if this is a battle that I win or not. A little bit scary, actually. And the reason why it's scary is because he... oh, man, this is not what I wanted. If he breaks my substitute and then he paralyzes me, I'm in a lot of trouble. And I'm not gonna be able to break his substitute until I get a few Calm Minds off. So I'm gonna go for the Calm Mind. He's gonna go for the Calm Mind. So not good for me. Not good for me. Now, the difference here, the good thing that I have going for me though, is, oh boy, this is gonna be a battle here. The good thing I have going for me though is the fact that I need, how many Calm Minds do I need for my Psyshock to kill? Oh god, I need a lot. I need a lot of Calm Minds for my Psyshock to do anything. This might be a little bit of a brutal battle here, guys. At least I know he's specially offensive. I'm gonna go for Calm Mind again. He's gonna go for Calm Mind again. So we're gonna go +2/+2 here. We're both gonna go +2. What move is he gonna have though? Heart Stamp or something? It's gonna be hard for me to break his subs. It's gonna be very, very hard for me to break his subs. I do have the Psyshock though, which is gonna be hitting him from the special side, which is really nice. But I gotta go toe-to-toe here with the substitutes, and I don't know how to beat him. I think I just have to, you know, hope that our Psyshock is gonna do enough here. I'm gonna go for Calm Mind number 3. He's gonna go for Calm Mind. So we're both going +6 here. I think we both kind of are on the same page. They're both going to +6. I do have more natural bulk than he does though, and I do have the ability to Psyshock. Even though it's 4 times resisted, it's gonna hit him from the physical side as opposed to the special side, so that'll at least do more than I would if I had, you know, something else. I do have Ice Beam and Psyshock, I believe, right? Yes, okay, so at least I have that. Oh boy, I don't know how this is gonna end, man. Probably, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So we're both, I think, +3. I think we're both going as high as we can here. We're both going to +6 probably. So I'm gonna go +6. I don't know, man. I just don't want him to status me. If he statuses me, we're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble. But I do need to go +6 to make sure I break his subs, it seems. Well, I guess it depends on how much bulk investment he has. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go +6. If I go +6, I still don't break his sub with Psyshock. So that just shows you how like powerful this thing is. So I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen because he's gonna be able to stall me out with his substitutes, but we'll just slowly work away at it and see what happens. He's gonna go for Calm Mind again. So we're both gonna have this intense Calm Mind battle here, and no matter what happens, you know, it's been a very good matchup. What I really need to do is if I can weaken him to the point where he's about, you know, that 50% range, I could probably beat him with a Mega Horn. Because it seems like, unless he's like Super Bowl, I mean, how much is my Mega Horn just doing by default to this thing? Because obviously I will outspeed. My Mega Horn's gonna do about 50%, so that's kind of our goal, is to get into about that range, if somehow possible. But again, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I actually am a little surprised. So we're at, we're gonna go +5. All right, he's gonna set up another Calm Mind, so we're just Calm Minding up here. What stinks is I have Clear Smog on Amoonguss, but I'm not gonna be able to use that now, so. Okay, so here we are, +5, going one more time, going +6. Go one more time, and I unfortunately wasted that one turn with that sub earlier, because we are it's a weakened substitute, but maybe it won't be that weakened. Maybe it'll be strong enough, I don't know. Oh man, this is gonna be not fun at all, guys. This is gonna be a stall fest and a half here. I'm gonna go for a Calm Mind number 6, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be number 6. He is also gonna go for his 6th Calm Mind, so we'll find out what happens now. Now we get to attack each other. Now I'm gonna click Psyshock basically until we're done. There's, you know, I'm not gonna set up more substitutes. He might set up more substitutes. I'm not going to. I'm gonna just keep clicking Psyshock here and seeing if I can break his substitute for one, which I don't think we're gonna be able to. I think we're gonna fall a little short, and hopefully just wear him down to that point where you know, we can revenge kill. So we've got 15 Psyshocks, so we'll see what happens, man. We'll see if he's gonna attack us here too. Unfortunately for me, he does 4 times resist. So if he has Psyshock on his end, we are all sorts of done. I don't know how we win. You know, we would need a super crit from Mr. Scolipede or something to win. He might be able to win here. He does have the Psyshock, so I'm gonna think that we might actually be in a bit of a tough situation. I think if he's able to break our sub, which he doesn't break our substitute. Oh no, he does. He does break our substitute. Okay, I think we're out here, guys. I think we're gonna be in a tough spot because I think he's gonna be doing about 50% to us on each of these turns, and I don't think I'm gonna be breaking his sub. It's a crit, so I get the critical hit, and it still doesn't break his sub with the crit, guys, and I think that's gonna be it. I think we're gonna get swept by this Jirachi here. So kind of my own fault for allowing him to set up to +6. I thought Cresselia was gonna be able to do it, but not carrying the proper coverage for Jirachi is gonna be what does us in here. He gets a crit there himself, so maybe we're not in the worst spot in the world here. Maybe we can pull back. I don't think so, though. But we are gonna get that damage off on him there. We are going to break his substitute. He knows that our Psyshock doesn't break his sub, though, anymore. I'm going to just keep firing off Psyshocks, hoping that 2 of them will break the sub, and I can slowly whittle him down, but there's really nothing I can do here. I can go into Scolipede, but doesn't make sense. You know, I think our play here, he's going to go for the Psyshock, so he's not even bothering setting up a sub anymore. He's going to go for Psyshocks. He knows there's really no reason to. Did he crit me again? No, he doesn't. He just does a tremendous amount to us. So I just got to try to weaken this thing and see how much this is going to do. You can see just how little that actually does. Very negligible damage, especially with him having the ability to get that leftovers back. You know, I think that's going to be it for us, guys. I think we're going to end up taking a pretty stupid loss here, too. I don't know what else I could have done to kind of keep that Jirachi from setting up in my face. I mean, I let him do it just like he let me do it kind of thing. We knew we were both going to set up. I just knew that he would have the advantage against Cresselia. I didn't have taunts or anything, so I don't know what else I could have really done. Yeah, it's not even going to break his sub. So he's going to be able to just get all this leftovers back, and you know, maybe we can somehow live a couple more and I can kind of weaken him to the point where a Mega Horn will be enough. But I think since he is a bulkier variant, I don't think our Mega Horn is going to do quite enough, and we don't have the EQ. Maybe we can live 2 Psyshocks and be able to get 2 more off here. 112 down to 50. It's going to be close. That was about 66, right? No, 50. Yeah, so we're going to be able to live 1 more here and break that sub, hopefully. We are going to break his sub. He's going to be at just such high health, though. I'm going to need a Mega Horn crit, I think, to be able to pull out with this one here, guys. We'll see if he's going to sub again and let us, you know, break it or not, or what he's going to do. I think it makes sense for him to sub here, but I'm going to go for Psyshock again. I need, like, a crit. A crit would be nice. He's going to sub again, so he is around that half range, but after the lefties and stuff, it's not going to really matter a whole lot. Give me that crit. The crit didn't even break his sub last time, which is hilarious. So I don't really think there's anything else I could do here. I'm gonna go for another one. Maybe we can, after leftovers, maybe we could live just 1 more, so I could break his Psyshock 1 more, or break his sub 1 more time. He's gonna go for the Psyshock again. I don't think we're gonna be able to live 2 of these. We gotta live 2 of these, basically. We're gonna live that one. Okay, so that's good. This should break his sub here. The problem is, though, is if he sets up a sub again, I think I just automatically lose at this point in time. I break his sub. Yeah, if he sets up a sub here, I just lose. Because there's nothing I can do to him. There's nothing I can do to him. If he just sets up a sub here, I lose. I wish I had Moonlight, but I don't. He's seen my entire set, too. So there's really nothing I could do. He's sitting at such high health now. I needed to end up in this situation where he didn't have a substitute. Crimson can come in here. I can go for the Mega Horn, break his sub, but that's really it. There's nothing else I can do at this point. Fungi cannot live a hit. I just have to hope by some miracle he decides not to go for substitute here. He's going to go for the substitute, so big surprise. He is at the health that I need him to be at, but I almost put Focus Sash on Crimson too. Almost, but what are you going to do, man? We're going to end up probably losing to this Jirachi here unless I crit that. Nah, he's gonna live that. Dude, this substitute, man. Jirachi is a very, very bulky Pokemon, unfortunately. And there's just not a whole lot I could do. I don't have enough health to live another hit here. I think... Yeah, there's nothing I can do at this point, guys. I'm gonna click Psyshock here in case something crazy happens, but his Psyshock will beat us, I believe, at this point in time. Unless he gets an absolute mineral. Yeah, he is gonna take us out. So Jirachi kills Cress with Psyshock, and with him still having that substitute up, there's just nothing I can do at this point. You know, Amoonguss is not going to be able to live a hit here. Crimson is not going to be able to live a hit here. I mean, Crimson can come in and go for a Mega Horn, but it's just not going to do anything. So I'll send in Crimson. No, I'll send in Amoonguss just on the off chance that maybe, you know, maybe something happens. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure we're just going to go down to 2 more Psyshocks here. I'll go for, I can't even clear Smog this thing, so it's not like it even matters. I'll go for the Giga Drain here. And that's not even going to break his sub. He'll Psyshock us, so he's going to knock us out. So Jirachi kills Amoonguss with Psyshock. Kind of stinks to lose this way, to be honest. I feel like I made some misplays that kind of cost the match there. I didn't really anticipate like a Calm Mind Jirachi set. I really should have been a little bit more prepared for it. I should have pulled that trigger a little quicker and went into Scolipede when this thing was sleeping, as opposed to trying to worry about setting up in front of it, which was my mistake. It happens, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? But either way, props to my friend Chris here for the match, for picking up the W. Nothing I could do, man. It is what it is. I'll go for the Mega Horn here, try to break this up, but he is going to beat us here with 1 more Psyshock, and that will be the battle, guys. So I hope you guys did enjoy regardless. We tried to mix it up a little bit. Wasn't able to get that Reflect up that I needed to get Scolipede the sweep. That was probably on my own end. That was probably just my mistakes for not setting up properly and not taking advantage of the opportunity I had with Scolipede, which I should have done. I really should have done, but I don't know if it would have made a difference. So he's going to knock us out there. We are going to take the loss. We're going to lose 2-0. His Drapion was pretty much dead, though, so really close match, man. I can't even be mad about it. It is what it is. You get set up on a Calm Mind. I couldn't pull the trigger. I knew I had to beat him with Cresselia if I was going to win that match, so it just didn't really work out. But either way, it's all good, man. I'm going to go enjoy my day. I hope you guys do as well. So thank you guys for hanging out. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace.